Many students aspire to perform outside of university in a professional context. Brisbane Are Doing What had a previous season with Vina Carver Productions at QUT and was lucky enough to be selected as a performance in this year's Festival of Australian Student Theatre. We sat down with the director and cast to discuss the production. Thank you so much for being here, Steve. Now, as director, could you tell us a little bit about the show?
Yeah, sure. So Brisbane Are Doing What is basically the story of Maddie, who is doing his undergraduate degree in theatre, and it's really about his journey to sort of find his own identity as a person and his own identity as an artist, and the way those two collide with the people in his life who may not understand what it's like to be a working artist and to be finding your own way.
So if I understand correctly, you were not the director in the last season of the show?
No, my fiancée Claire, who I work with quite often, Claire Christian, and I work together. So my background is largely as a playwright, designer, performer. So she wasn't available for this run, and then I came on in the second run as director. So basically I'm just remounting the work, so we get it up again, get it ready for the FAST Festival, and to make sure that everything's going as it was 6 months ago when we did our first season.
So can you tell us a little bit about the festival and what it means to the performers?
Yeah, absolutely. So FAST is the Festival of Australian Student Theatre. Basically, FAST is 3 days of student theatre works of varying stages of development, going from play readings to full performances, one of which is ours. It's being described as essentially Hogwarts for drama nerds, so it's a really lovely place for people to get together and have conversations about the future of Australian theatre and the new generation of theatre makers that are coming up. So it's a great way to meet other people who are making new and exciting work and in those initial exciting stages of their career.
How's the rehearsal process going?
It's going pretty well, I think. It's an interesting rehearsal process in that he's already done it all before, and I'm here new, fresh to the team. But at the same time, it still seems like it's a nice collaborative process kind of thing.
Yeah, that's definitely a different process when half the cast has kind of already done a performance of it before. So we kind of, I think the only challenge it is that the original cast members kind of have a pre-idea of what's going on, and then it's kind of just getting over that because there's a new cast, there's a new production really.
No, it's going really well. Like we all get along really well, and the script is great. So the script is really good, and we've fostered a really good kind of group dynamic as well. So it's been really interesting to get into it this time around and really just kind of nail it.
Do you think the production is going to be ready in time?
Definitely, yeah. We're really on track at the moment. So we've got lines down. I think it's just polishing it off now. So it's really exciting.
Is there anything you're concerned about?
I'm worried about my dance moves and whether or not I'll be able to pull that off. But I'm sure it'll all work out in the end.
We are still waiting on a bit of the set and the costume, but as I said, it's already been done before, so they kind of know what they want.
So what would you say has been the most rewarding part of the process?
Well, the most rewarding part of the process for me, I think, is just doing a kind of standard acting gig, because in QUT you're taught a very kind of like unconventional process of collaborative like approach to making theatre, and you don't often get the more typical approach of just having a director getting a play, getting a script, and just kind of acting. Like collaborative approach is great as well, but it's sometimes just fun to just pick apart a script that's already there.
Yeah, that as well. But for me, I said I was in the original production, so it's interesting that I get to see how Maddie as a character, with me engaging with him, has changed over the past 5 or so months that I haven't done the play. So we're very close and similar in many retrospects of life, but it's just interesting to see how I've changed and also how Maddie has changed from that original production and now has kind of grown with me.
I don't know, just working with a bunch of really great people. So that's probably the best part of it, working with such great people on such a great show. I would agree that is really good. I was fortunate enough to be in the March run of Brisbane, and doing it again has been, I think, even better because we've got such a great group dynamic and we just got such a great text. David Burton's done a wonderful job, and our director Steve is amazing. So yeah, great people, lovely text, brilliant show.
I'm starting to believe what they say about this town. Brisbane are doing work.